Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm checking out the don'ts of Key West, Florida. We definitely want to get to Florida at some point. I feel like Key West is definitely on the list because we kind of want to explore more than like the typical Orlando, Miami kind of areas. So this is going to be a good video to check out. Links to this channel in the description. As always, we've been checking this channel out a lot recently. I don't know when you'll see this, but we've done a lot of pre-recording and we've done quite a few of these videos. So if you like them, let us know in the comments and let us know what else you want to check out if we haven't checked it out already. And let's get into it. What have we got?
Walter's World, and today we're on Key West in the Keys of Florida. And today what we have for you are the don'ts of coming to Key West. And it is a super relaxed place, so your don'ts aren't too worrisome when you are here. But there is the one don't I need to start off with, and that is don't mess with the chickens.
Aww,
look,
baby
you're going to get off your plane, you're going to walk out of the airport, and there might be a chicken just walking around there. Or maybe you're getting your food and a chicken hops up on your table and tries to get your food from you. It happens. And the thing is, those chickens, they're protected. You can't hurt them, so try to shoo them away because they can be quite aggressive with your food, okay? So just don't mess with the chickens, though they will mess with
Key West seagulls.
you, all right? Now, my next don't for you is when you come here, don't forget to bring biodegradable, reef-safe sunblock when you come and apply it often. Look, we're at the southernmost point of the U.S. Here, ta-da! Well, at least continental U.S., right? We're here. And you have to realize is that sun is beating down on you all year long. It doesn't matter if you come in December or July.
Okay, it's still gonna be hot.
Buscas internet
It's it is Florida at the end of the day. So Key West is even further down, so it's going to be even hotter than usual.
You are going to get a lot of sun, so you need to make sure you're putting on that sunblock, putting it on often, even if you're not going out on the water to enjoy, paddle boarding or swimming or diving or snorkeling or fishing or kayaking or any of the wonderful things you do on the water here. You need to lather up because if you're walking in town, there's not always a lot of shade when you're walking around, and you will get fried when you are here. I've already layered up a few times today and I can feel it, so make sure you have that. And since there are protective reefs out from here, and if you're gonna go diving and stuff, use the biodegradable, use the reef safe kind just to make it a little bit better for the environment when you are here, because it does make a difference. Now my next don't for you is, when people come to Key West, they get their picture with the southernmost point, this big buoy in the background. And the thing is, my don't for that is, don't expect to get a lot of alone time with the southernmost point, because everybody wants to get their picture there, right in front of the buoy. But the thing is, there can be a long line, especially when there's a lot of tourists here. There can be a long line to wait to get your picture. It's like getting the picture in Vegas in front of the sign. You're just there. But my advice to you is, you know what? It's okay to get people in your picture. Just stand back, take the picture with the people in it, or be there and wave with the people in the background. You can do that and get your picture, but you're not going to get a lot of alone time, okay? So just have a heads up with that. Now, my next don't for you has to do with the people and one of the tastiest foods you have here, and that is, don't call it conch. It's conch. Conch shells, conch fritters, cracked conch chowder. The locals are called conchs. Yeah, it's conch, not conch. I know it looks like it's conch, but it's not. It's conch. And if you get a chance to eat the conch when you're here, eat it. It is so good. Conch fritters. Oh, if you're not sure what conch is, the conch shell? There's a little thing that lives inside. They take out, and then you put in some batter and some dough
so it's fish. Okay, I didn't know that. I've never heard of that before. I don't know if that's a thing over here. I've never heard of that before.
And you fry it up, it's so good. Or you'll have it in ceviche, it's so tasty. I'm sure the locals might be tasty too, they're pretty fun, but I'm just joking. Don't eat the locals, eat the conch from the shell, okay? But honestly, it's conch, not conch, okay? Because I've heard that a few times. I just want people to know. And speaking of those conchs, meaning the locals, don't forget that Key West actually declared its independence just for a little bit. And that's why you'll see Conch Republic on the flags here, because they did have independence. I mean, just for a few minutes they declared it, but it is kind of a funny thing here. But honestly, the people here really love being from Key West. They love being a conch. And I think that goes into another don't. Don't really say that people here are Floridians, though they are in Florida. It's part of Florida. People in Key West kind of feel like they're a bit different than the rest of Florida. So
I get that.
Don't really say they're Floridian. Just say, hey, they're conchs. Now, another thing is when you're thinking of Key West, probably the biggest food thing you think of here isn't the conch. It's actually key lime pie. And yes, don't skip out on key lime pie when you're here, obviously. But for us, even if you're not eating key lime pie here in Key West, you're someplace else, don't think key lime pie is green. If you see key lime pie here in Key West that is green, you should run out of that restaurant right away and just start screaming, faker,
okay.
faker, faker, because key lime pie isn't green. Okay, key lime pie is not green. Okay, you'll see people debate whether, is it whipped cream or is it meringue or is it just go topless? You know, you don't go topless on the beach here, but you can go topless on your key lime pie in some places. Moe's, oh my God, I went to Moe's restaurant. They had a topless key lime pie. It was fantastic. But honestly, the debate is irrelevant when it comes to the color of key lime.
I'd have thought it would have been green because of the lime, but maybe not.
Pie, just know, don't look for green key lime pie. It'll come out and you're like, this looks like a pumpkin pie, or this looks like a lemon pie, this looks like orangey brownie pie. No. Just know it's not green, okay? So know that. Now my next don't for you is don't drive in Key West. I mean, it's not that bad of a drive though. That the 7 Mile bridge coming in, if you're driving in from the mainland, can be a bit nerve-wracking if you're not used to those kind of drives. But honestly, parking downtown is horrible in the old part of town. Even not in the old part of town, parking just sucks in the Keys in general. So just have a heads up, and it's just easier not to drive. There's Lyft, there's Ubers, there's taxis from the airport, no problem. I would recommend doing that because parking is horrible. And another bonus don't is don't park in a local's parking spot, because they have their designated spots and they will get you ticketed or towed like that, okay? So don't park in the right places. So just avoid driving if you can when you're here. Now, another don't I have for you is when you come here, most of the time people will just go up and down Duval Street because there's tons of restaurants and bars there, and you can eat well there, you can drink well there, and it's a really good time there. And you got, Mallory, Square, you can go there and you can have a nice time there. But you have to realize is don't think those are the only places that have restaurants and bars in Key West. Okay, you can explore just a couple blocks off of Duval Street. There's plenty of restaurants there, and the prices go down a bit. But there's places all throughout the town you could enjoy.
I have a question. Is there a lot of seafood in Key West, like in Southern Florida? Is there a lot of seaweed? Is there a lot of seafood?
Moe's restaurant, they've got Caribbean food there, and it was just fantastic. Oh my God, I had the Caribbean chicken. It was fantastic. My buddy had it was a snapper, like pasta. God, it was so good.
That looks good.
You can eat so well here, and you can eat well not just on the main drag, okay? So just know that. And I think that, I talked about the lower prices off Duval. I think another don't I have for you is don't let the prices for plane tickets and accommodation make you think it's expensive to visit Key West. I know when I bought my plane tickets to Key West, I'm like, maybe I should go to Europe instead for those prices. And when I was looking for accommodation, I'm like, dang, maybe I do the 2-hour drive in from Miami instead. I mean, prices for accommodation here are extremely high, and flights to get here are high as well. But when you get here, I'm surprised with how, I'm not gonna say it's cheap, but how many affordable eating and drinking options you actually have here in Key West, okay? So just know that, yes, you're gonna blow most of your budget on the accommodation and flight, but you can have a really good time here without busting your budget, okay? I'm not saying it's cheap, but it's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. And speaking of not busting your budget, but a great tourist thing to do is honestly seeing the sunset pretty much anywhere in the Keys is gorgeous. You can go to Mallory Square and you can watch it there with the locals. There's tons of people there. There'll be, all kinds of stuff going on, but just the sunset here is gorgeous. And even like behind me, the sunset's behind me here. There's the little bar right there that I was at last night. I just walked down here and I'm like, oh my God, this is gorgeous. Like so gorgeous, I forgot to get the video when it was actually happening. I got it at the end, and it's just, honestly, the sunsets here, I mean, I'm gonna guess probably the sun rises too, but let's be honest, if you're coming to Key West to relax, you're not getting up for the sunrise, all right? But don't miss the sunsets here. Now, my next don't for you has to deal with when you're packing, things you might wanna not forget. So I would say is, don't forget to bring your own snorkel gear when you're coming here. You may say, why? Mark, I can rent it there. Yes, you can rent your snorkel gear here, but it's expensive. And two, do you really wanna use the snorkel that someone else had in their mouth? I know they clean them out, but just something to have a heads up for. So don't forget your snorkel gear. I would also bring like water shoes if you're gonna go walking around the water here, because it's rockier here than sandy in some places, just FYI. Also, like I said, bring your sunblock and stuff, but also I would bring a light rain jacket, because you never know when out of nowhere, boom, rain comes in. Now, you don't need a heavy rain jacket, just a light poncho thing. You'll be fine, but just something to think about to not forget to bring when you're coming here. Now, my next don't for you is don't think that the only culture on Key West is the Ernest Hemingway House and Museum. Look, Ernest Hemingway is a famous author, world famous author, who lived here for a number of years and really made Key West pretty famous. And also the six-toed kittens. Yeah, the cats that are here, you'll see those, that's from him and those things. But you can actually go to his house, and that's kind of the most like famous house to visit here. But there's more to see. There's more tourist spots to go to aside from that. There's a shipwreck museum you can go to.
Wow,
I mean,
cool.
Key West made a lot of money getting shipwrecks and going to the shipwrecks and getting stuff out of there. Actually made the city, or the island, the Key, actually very wealthy for a time period. And there's a museum that talks about that.
That looks interesting. I feel like that's similar to like we have in Jersey, like a maritime museum. I feel like that is pretty similar to that. This vibe, I guess.
Harry Truman, former president, his winter White House was here. You can go visit that, and there's other historic homes you can see. So it's not just the Hemingway house, and yes, you should go to the Hemingway house, and yes, see the cats and stuff, but just know there's more than that. Another don't I have for you, and you'll see this when you're downtown, is don't feel bad if you take the trolley tour or the train tour. I know it looks super touristy, I know it looks super silly, but honestly, it actually can give you a lot of information about Key West and the thing that's going on and where to eat and the people and all kinds of stuff. So definitely take it and just learn a bit. And it's a nice relaxing thing to do for a little bit during the day. Now, with a beautiful place like this, I know I talked about the sunblock before, but also don't forget to stay hydrated when you're going around the island, because whether you're renting a bike and riding around or kayaking or fishing or paddleboarding or just enjoying the really cute houses around town or going to the southernmost point, you're going to get hot, you're going to get dehydrated. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Bring a refillable water bottle and refill that thing. When you go to the bar and when you finish up, hey, can you refill my water bottle? They'll fill it up for you. You can take it with you when you go, but you want to stay hydrated. Make sure you got your hat as well to protect you from the sun, because it can be dangerous. Now, my next don't for you are for those of you that stay on the east side of Key West. Now, the restaurants and bars and most of the stuff is actually on the west side of Key West, towards the sunset. There's a lot of things there, but honestly,
like that big to have like big different like atmospheres on either side. That's crazy.
Don't expect any food or drink options on the east side of Key West. You're gonna have to go to the next key over to find things. I mean, you got the boathouse you can come to and grab some beers, but there's not a lot on the east side. You're gonna be needing to take an Uber or Lyft to get to the historic part of the island to go eat and drink there. Oh, my tastiest don't I have for you is don't forget to eat like a seafood king when you're here in Key West, because whether it's snapper, grouper, mahi-mahi, the local shrimp, the local crab, the conch, oh my God, the seafood here is fantastic. And honestly, whatever is fresh, you can get it on a sandwich, you can just cook it for you on a grill. It'll be phenomenal. Okay, so don't skip out on the seafood. Just get it every time. If you're not sure and you're looking, what do I get? They have steaks here. They have this here. No. Seafood, and then after that, have more seafood. Okay, because it's awesome here. Though I will say, don't expect to get the spiny lobster or the rock lobster all year round. You can get the Maine lobster rolls all year round, but the local lobster, you can only get it in season. So sadly, when I'm here now, I can't have it, but I know how good it is.
That looks nice.
I got a friend of mine who comes down and catches them when you can actually come down and catch them in July. It's so good. It's so good. Anyway, but sadly, don't expect to get the rock lobster or the spiny lobster all year round. Sadly, with that fantastic seafood. Okay. Now, another don't I have for you is when people think of Florida, they think, oh, it's sandy beaches everywhere. Look, in Key West, don't think you're going to get those Florida sandy beaches. Yes, they do have a few sandy beaches here, but you have a lot of mangroves that you can see behind me, and you've got a lot of the seawall and stuff. So it's not all sandy beach things. All right, so just be prepared for that. Hence why you want to have the water shoes and stuff when you're going to go out, just to be a little more comfortable when you do go in the water. Now, another critter don't I have for you. I know I talked about the chickens at the beginning. Now we're getting near the end of the video. I need to talk about some of the other animals here. And that is, one, don't feed the iguanas when you're here. The iguanas here in Key West are like pigeons in New York or London. They're just like, they're local rats basically. And they will come scurry up and try to take your food like the chickens do, but the iguanas are all over, so don't mess with them. Also, if you see manatees, don't give the manatees fresh water. I know they like it, but don't do it, because then they come in and the boats, and they get hit by the boats and the propellers. It's bad. So don't do that when you're here. And I think my final don't I'm going to give you from here in Key West is don't expect a lot at the airport. Look, when you fly into
Cute
Key West,
fishes.
I mean, it's literally some dudes roll the ramp out to the plane and you get out that way. It's not the, oh, the gate is extending out. No, this is old school airport style, okay? They roll it up, you walk between the green lines going in to the airport, the arrivals, and it's like 1 or 2 belts, and that's it. I mean, it's got a bathroom, the belts, and some rental car places. I mean, there's not a lot of space, so
the belts are not that big.
Don't be like expecting to wait at the airport a long time for your ride. Luckily, there's a taxi stand right outside the arrivals, so you'll be fine. But just don't expect too much at the Key West airport. But honestly, you're only going to the airport because you're sadly leaving, or you're just getting here to have some fun. So get here to Key West. Don't worry, you'll have a great time.
That was good. Let me know in the comments below. Is Key West something that we should check out? And what would you recommend we do while we're there? Let us know in the comments below. Have a fantastic day, guys. I'll see you in the next one.